Wow, that intro is so much shorter than Audible Interlude. Welcome to the newest episode of the Needless Things podcast. I'm your host, Dave West, and that's all I say on this show. Who else is here?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not used to that.
I know, right?
At
It doesn't
all.
work as well. Joining me tonight are our head of research, Ryan Schweck. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Glad to be on tonight.
And Legion Cub here from Audible Interlude, whose time I have monopolized in a completely unacceptable way this week.
I woke up specifically so I could do this.
Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, Audible Interlude was live Monday night. And because it went so long, we ended up recording our comic review, which is available right now wherever you get your podcasts. Energon Universe G.I. Joe number 19. We recorded that last night. Usually we would just do it after the live show, but none of us felt like it. And now tonight, Kristian is back, and we're going to be talking about Toy Fair 2026, our favorite stuff from viewing afar. But before we get to that, please follow Needless Things channel on Instagram. While you're there, check out those pinned stories. This is weird, too, because usually this is all Audible Interlude stuff. Check out the pinned stories and get yourself some Needless Things merchandise, hats and shorts and shirts and phone cases and all kinds of stuff. And if you show up at a live event with your Needless Things merch, I'll give you some free swag. So check it out. So Toy Fair 2026, New York International Toy Fair, was this past weekend, and we had fun following along at home. I believe all of our images come from Toy Ark tonight, so thank you very much to the folks at Toy Ark for sharing and being so kind as to let us use their images. But be sure to check out Preternia, Action Figure Insider, Toy News International. There's so many great resources out there and just really cool people covering this stuff. I'm still bucket listing. I'll be at Toy Fair one of these years. Hadn't worked out yet, but I'll get there. But somebody somewhere will be saying, thanks to Needless Things for letting us use their pictures. So we got a couple things before we get to the meat of the subject, where we've all picked a few of our favorite things. We've got some general news to talk about. But before we get there, Kristian, you are a fan of Mythic Legions. Is that correct?
Yes. Indeed,
and we're all fans of the Four Horsemen. Been following them since I guess Art Asylum was technically what was McFarlane, and then Art Asylum branched out of that, and then they were working with Mattel, like a legacy.
Yep.
They have a legacy. So while I am not actively collecting a lot of Mythic Legions because I don't need to start a dangerous new habit, I do pick things up here and there. And over Toy Fair weekend, they announced their traveling exclusive for 2026, which is this legendary warrior figure. And it looks awesome. It's a great female barbarian warrior type thing. It's got multiple portraits you can switch out depending on what kind of look you want to go for. I would imagine these are all standard issue Mythic Legions weapons. Kristian, is that?
Yep.
And it's really cool soft goods cloak that looks a lot like the one that came with my Mezco Conan. So really cool looking figure, and something that you can pick up at the shows that the Four Horsemen are attending in 2026. So I was like, yeah, I'll get this one. This is really cool. Well, Kristian, do you know this story? Do you have any idea where I'm headed with this?
I did briefly see your message, even though I didn't get a chance to respond to it because I haven't had a chance to look anything up. So I was like, oh, I vaguely knew about the figure, but everything else that you put in your message to me, I was like, no clue.
Well, I will explain now. So I just knew this figure was coming out. And then I think it was yesterday, the Horseman posted a new image with a caption saying, due to similarity to a copyrighted character, we are removing the redhead portraits from this product. It will still be available, but we don't want to cause any problems. And I'll tell you right now, when I looked at this figure, I didn't even think of Red Sonja.
Not at all.
I did.
Not even close.
I didn't. And I think it depends on, in the same way, you know, we talk all the time about the type of people who think that Michael Keaton, Batman, and Ben Affleck Batman are like supposed to be the same character.
Mhm.
Like they just don't care enough to know their different continuities or anything. They're just like, oh, it's Batman. Same kind of thing. I think people who look at red-haired barbarian lady and are like, well, that's Red Sonja. Like people would look at me in conventions and be like, oh, you're Rey Mysterio. Like same kind of thing. It's about the level of just particularity you have for the franchise. So what I discovered through social media, and I don't know if the original poster would want or care to be named, but I'm going to throw a little something up that was shared. The image on the screen we're looking at right now, and if you're just listening to the audio, I'm going to talk about what's here, but also you should check it out on the Needless Things YouTube channel. This will live on in perpetuity. So what we have here are some comments from Instagram on the figure announcement. And we have, she's an absolute must-have. Awesome. In a way, a Cassia 2.0 figure. Love this. Wow, amazing. Can't wait. And under every single one of these comments and many, many other comments in the feed, Red Sonja Official, who holds the license for Red Sonja, has commented, officially licensed at Boss Fight Studio, over and over and over again.
So I do my best with the very little amount of time that I ever get to go online and look at comments. And if I saw this, I want to reach through the screen. Like I would tell them, I want to shake you like a dead baby. If you legit,
it's
wild. One, that's overboard.
Yes,
that is way. I don't know, that would turn me off. It's not Boss Fight Studios' fault, but that would turn me off from buying that figure.
And that's what I posted in my stories is this figure, and going back to the first picture, this figure right here did not make me want to spend money on Red Sonja stuff any less. But these comments and this behavior,
I don't
makes
know
me
how
want to not send any money that way. That's obnoxious as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I would seriously have to ask them, have you seen Red Sonja art?
Well, so I'm looking at Boss Fight Studios' Red Sonja figure.
Which is great. It was reviewed right here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. It's a great figure that it's just silly. Somebody else on Instagram, and I can't remember who it was, and if you hear this, shout out, and I'll acknowledge you next time, my tribal chief, because this was some of the funniest shit I ever saw. They posted this, and then on top of it said, well, guess what? I'm copywriting a character called Blonde Steven. And if anybody releases any action figures that are male with blonde hair, I'm coming after them.
He-Man is yours.
Yeah, like it's just preposterous. This is not the kind of thing that's reasonable. Like,
no,
it's just silly. So I just wanted to talk about that and tell Red Sonja Official, like, you happen to own the copyright to this character at the moment, and good for you, but this is ridiculous. You are hurting your public image by doing this. Not like protecting IP is one thing, but with a character like that, I mean, come on. So just absolutely silly. And I would imagine, because these figures are produced, they're going to be at ZoloCon at the end of the month. So clearly this is all done. They're having to go through and pull these heads out because the other company couldn't pull their heads out of their asses.
What ticks me off about it is if they were to say, okay, we're gonna pull the like no makeup red-haired version,
right.
oh, okay, I'm still annoyed because of the situation, but I can live with it. But like that, like Norse warrior face paint with the,
and that's why
to not get that head.
Right. That's why I said I didn't immediately think of Red Sonja, is because that to me, well, the first thing I thought of with that is like, oh, it looks like a character out of God of War. Like that was the first thing I thought. So anyway, it's just silliness. And usually we don't get too much into like toy drama like that. But this one really, it irritated me. I
can
Robert,
see, I can
Robert, I am irritated. Speaking of which, speaking of Robert, I am irritated. Where's my Marcus product? I need some Marcus product stat. Anyway, all right, let's see. What else have we got here? So there were some pre-Toy Fair, which really, once I thought back the last couple of years, it feels like the week before Toy Fair has been this like deluge of information. Hang on just a second. Let me get this up here. I'll just post it, whatever. Who cares? So it's not unusual, because at first last week when stuff started coming out, I was like, whoa, what is happening right now? They're not going to have anything left. But then I remembered this is what they've been doing. They've been releasing, early looks and brand announcements and things like that. So before we get to our favorite stuff, we got a few general things to talk about. Let's see here. So, Kristian, I think you and I talked a little bit about the ambitious Star Trek Bridge playset from Nacelle Toys, who have not yet delivered a single Star Trek figure. No, I take that back. They did deliver some, but they were problematic, so we're waiting. But they have delivered tons of other product that's really, really good. So I'm not worried about anything with Nacelle Toys. I'm worried about the customer's reception. Like that's potentially the biggest problem. But this Build-A-Bridge set that consists of 12. Well, I've got the notes right here. I'm just going to go through the whole thing. It is 1/10 scale, obviously, to go with their Star Trek figures, which is about 7-ish inches. So these will be NECA sized. 12 individual releases representing individual stations of the Enterprise Bridge, from science to communication to the central consoles for navigation, and of course the captain's chair. And you can see in this image the render of what everything's going to look like. And looking at this is kind of a dream thing for me, because Playmates released the Next Generation Bridge playset, and it's one of my favorite playsets of all time. And we never got anything like that for the original Enterprise. So it's very exciting, but at the same time, we all know the history of Star Trek toys, like since Playmates, the only company to have what I consider a truly successful run. Although to go back to Art Asylum, their line was solid. It's just Star Trek is so big, I think it's difficult to satisfy anybody.
One thing that made me laugh about this, because when you look at it, the way you put it together, I guess, or as they display it, is in this circle. So when you display that on your shelf, you just like look down on it. I mean, you would separate it, obviously, like the way they show it. I was like, all right.
Well, also, though, it's kind of like that big Millennium Falcon. Like if you've got that thing, because I've got it sitting right here, and if you put it on a normal shelf, you're never going to see the inside. So I've got it on this big thing that I had kind of adjust so you could see the top of it. Like anything like this is going to be a challenge. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm hopeful. Yeah. I will not go so far as to say I'm excited. Well, it says right here, it says it's 40 inches in diameter. So larger than 3 feet.
So, and that's the piece when I read the first press announcement for it, that's what kind of killed me. in like my brain is melting at the moment because we talk on Audible Interlude about the Dragonfly. Like you and I did not get
Space.
the Rattler because we were like, it is just too big at that point.
Can I just say Toy Space, the final frontier.
Hey.
This like your dog will be able to sleep in it.
Well, and looking at it, you could potentially just display the circular center part and then the 5 pieces behind it on the shelf. Now, granted, that's still going to be, just looking at it, 2.5 feet deep, but doable on a shelf. I mean, I've got shelves that are like 36 inches deep. So, or no, I don't have 36. I got 24. 24 is the deepest shelf I've got. So it's going to have to go on like storage shelves or something.
It's going to have to go on the floor.
Well, there's no room for it on the floor because my freaking Sentinel is back there still.
It will be the newest Lazy Susan on their dining room table. So when they throw a party, it's like, have some hors d'oeuvres. Science section.
If you put like a piece of glass over the top of it, you could use it as a table.
No, what they need to do is, Kristian, you're absolutely right. It's on the Lazy Susan, but they make little Star Trek dip bowls so you can have your nacho cheese, your guac, your salsa, and you just rotate to whatever outer space flavor you want your chips to have.
And could you be like, engineering, hit me with the salsa? Like,
yes, absolutely. So very cool. I'm excited to see. Well, I'm excited for because I ordered a few of the first wave Star Trek figures. I'm excited for those to come in and do a review right here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. And I want to see where this goes, because whatever else you can say about anybody who's ever had the Star Trek license, Nacelle's heart is in the right place. We have seen that with their other products and how much care they've put into them. So hopefully customers are receptive and this line is a massive success and we all get to enjoy our Star Wars toys for years and years, or Star Trek toys for years and years. Nobody's going to be enjoying Star Wars toys apparently, but more on that later. All right, what else? What's next? Oh, and they showed off Paint Masters for the second wave, which looked great. And I'm glad I threw this in here because everybody just take a mental picture of the structure and the joints on these figures, because we're going to be talking about another figure later on that we'll do a little comparison with. One more thing about the bridge. Two more things. Each section will have lights and sound features replicating classic Star Trek background effects. So that's actually pretty exciting that you'll be able to have the Enterprise background noise just kind of going. I love that. And when the project launches sometime later this year, it'll roll out on a monthly pre-order basis, meaning it will take at least 12 months for the entire set to be completed. You know what? I'm good with that.
Yeah. I think that is a great way to make sure that you're not breaking people's wallets.
Yes.
I mean, you are. It's just going to be spread out over
it's just
time,
going to be spread out.
Is
it feels better. Yeah.
Well, it's like, it's like the old Matty Collector subscription program, or what was the company they did the build? Eagle Moss.
Oh.
Did the build an Ecto One, and I think they did build a DeLorean.
And they never got to finish their Enterprise before the company went under. So
I didn't even realize you did one.
I'm rooting for Nacelle. Be the first company to finish a build of something for Star Trek.
I would say I think Nacelle is at this point in the market significantly higher profile than Eagle Moss ever was. So that right there gives them, and no disrespect to Eagle Moss, I think they were an awesome company doing really cool stuff. They just couldn't seem to crawl out of the niche of a niche,
Nacelle reminds me of early Super 7. kind of where they're
Yes.
at this point and what they're doing.
I dare say now, license wise, I don't feel they're as high profile, but I think reputation and the number of people that are aware of them, maybe bandwidth wise, I would put them ahead of Super 7 at this point.
Wow.
Because Super 7 stayed really small for a long time.
Yeah, I guess they did.
Yeah. But I guess where I agree with Schweck is that they seem like a company that is putting out the things that interest them.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
I don't think you're buying the license to the Cowboys of Moo Mesa to be like,
Right?
there's 50 people out there who enjoyed this cartoon and we're going to make figures for them. Like someone at Nacelle liked the Cowboys of Moo Mesa and was like, I want to get the figures I did not get before.
That's like Jeff shows up to the Nacelle Monday morning meeting. It's like, guys, guess what I bought?
There's gold in them there cows. Yeah. It's like what Trick or Treat is doing with the Toxic Crusaders. Like, they're doing that because the guy in charge of that loves Toxic Crusaders. And that is the only reason. Okay. So there are the Paint Masters. Remember, just take a look at what those figures look like. Store that in your memory. And then we got to the Super 7 announcements started last week. Now we're covering some of the bigger stuff in the main portion of the show, but I wanted to talk a little bit about Super 7 and MTV. I kind of messaged back and forth with a few people when this went up, and I was like, oh man, imagine we get like Jeff Ross and his Kiss boots and Dennis Leary and Randy of the Redwoods, Syphil and Ollie. Like, how much cool stuff could we get? And then they revealed product, and I didn't get the pictures of that. I forgot to, but it's like plushes of Ren and Stimpy, which I won't be supporting. And then some other plushes. It might have just been Beavis and Butthead plushes or something. So it wasn't anything that we haven't seen in a long, long time. Like, it wasn't a remote control playset, which of course would be my dream MTV product. With Carrie Werr figure included, please. But that's just the first bit of the product. And if Super 7 wants to do some easily saleable plushes just to get money up front and show the viability of the brand, then that's probably a smart move. But there's so much more cool stuff I think they could do.
So I'm going to have to wait for my Pedro and Puck real world figures so I can reenact.
Puck. Oh my God.
Butter jar.
One of my most disliked characters in the history of television. Oh, what a vile. And look, he may have turned out to be a perfectly good human being. I
actually saw a video of him this week on like Where Is He Now? Still a vile human. Like,
awful. Well, and if anybody's wondering about, because I always get comments or messages after, I want to be transparent about the Ren and Stimpy thing. I loved Ren and Stimpy when I was a kid, but don't Google John Kricfalusi if you want to continue loving Ren and Stimpy. There's a lot of take a look at a lot of the headlines right now having to do with elitists in power. It's that kind of thing. So don't go there if you don't want to. Super 7 gets Visionaries. Now, we have been talking about this almost since the first episode of Audible Interlude of somebody bring back Visionaries. When you guys saw this, what were your first thoughts?
I got super excited, but also I think I'm in the minority where I was like, Visionary Ultimates. I am so on board with this. I mean, and look, anything Visionaries, and I'd be on board with it.
A couple of years ago, when Ultimates were still $45, I would have agreed with you 100%. But now that we've got Reaction Plus, and my dream was always Visionaries that are compatible with, O-ring figures.
O-rings.
It drove me crazy that they were bigger. This is wonderful. So hopefully this will be a Reaction Plus product and will have the holograms. I'm excited. But the good news is, right after this announcement, as Entertainment Earth often does, I don't know if this was an oopsie or what, but they had pre-orders up for Lyric and Darkstorm.
Oh.
Leoric?
Leoric.
Okay, Leoric and Darkstorm. So we know the first two figures. Oh, okay. This was February 13th. So yeah, that would have been available on that day.
Mm-hmm.
So we know which two figures are coming first. And it is interesting that they're rolling it out like Micronauts, where each wave is just two figures.
I think
I'm excited to see what these are going to look like.
I think Super 7, because I've noticed that with some of their the newest pre-orders for Ultimates that they've been doing as well. And again, I've always been about making sure that people can afford to get the products that they want. And if the best course of action is 2 figures per wave, I'm so okay with that.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
And look, it's working for Micronauts. They just showed the newest wave. That's 2 more figures, and they're all awesome. So,
and I think we were talking, because when you had mentioned Reaction, you were hoping for Reaction Plus. My first feeling was, man, but I really want those animal counterparts. And I know at the Ultimate size we could get them, but you brought up a very good point that is right up Super 7's wheelhouse. So even at Reaction Plus size, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see those as a release somehow.
Even if it's like a San Diego Comic-Con box set of just the animals or something like that. They're a company that you can look at and say, I'm not really sure what release style or form factor they'd rule out. You look at Hasbro and you're like, well, I know they wouldn't do a pack of animals, but Super 7's like, I don't know, maybe. They do crazy stuff. They did a G.I. Joe box set that didn't have a single G.I. Joe figure in it. So next up, we got to talk about some more Reaction Plus. How do you guys feel about these guys?
Good for who wants them.
Yeah.
These are the Reaction Plus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is the first wave, which is Raphael, Donatello, a Foot Soldier, and Shredder, which I think is a great character selection.
At Turtles, I'm just always going to want in the classic form figure. The 5 inches, kind of chunky. It's like when they do like a He-Man of this style. Like I look at it and I'm like, oh, okay, but that's not what I want it for.
I'm kind of in the same boat there. I never got into the Reaction He-Man because I was like, I get it. It's the characters, but it's not. That's not what I want. That's not my He-Man. That's not the flavor I want. And with these, one, I'm just not a fan of the animated turtles. If these were something a little different, I might be into it. Now, having said that, they should absolutely be doing the animated turtles because I think that's the biggest customer. But I think they look great. I love how big the turtles' heads are. And their torsos, because these are just renders we're looking at, but they had them actually at the booth at Super 7, and they've got like sort of big round torsos that look really neat. And then Shredder and the Foot Soldier both look great. So this is awesome for Super 7. Turtles in a form factor that they can legally produce, that Varner Studios won't get mad at them about. So great. It's awesome. And I hope it does well enough that we could actually maybe even see some of the vehicles in this scale.
Yeah, that would be
like, imagine if they could do a party wagon for 3 3/4 inch. I mean, that would be very cool, but I think that would require a lot of success, because think about how successful their Joe stuff has been, and vehicles still just didn't work out really. But always interesting things to follow with Super 7. Like the second wave of Back to the Future Reaction Plus figures from Back to the Future 2. And I will say I'm a lot more tempted by these than I was the first wave.
Me too. Yeah, I like. I don't know if it's the designs are more striking from 2, or I don't know. Yeah, but I was more.
I think they are. I think they're more. I mean, certainly Doc is more toyetic, but even Marty with the jacket and the hat and the hoverboard, like those are both really action figure-y looks. Like almost with my 50-year-old eyes, with as many years of toy collecting experience as I have, would almost say they designed these costumes to be action figures back in the day, even though we didn't see such a thing back then.
And props on the Marty, his pockets are out, which is the detail you need.
Of course. I mean, look, that's what Super 7 does. They catch little things like that. Although I am looking at Marty, and this, again, these are renders, does look like he's got silver rivets in the shoulders, which is very disappointing. But I bet the final product isn't like that, because it seems like Joe is the only one they're pinning the silver rivets to. Got some Thundercats Deluxe figures, which again, Kristian, I think you and I have talked about this in the past, that I would be fine if they just moved ahead with Deluxe and kind of saved Ultimates for an every once in a while, like when you have to have a bunch of extra parts. But this is great to see older Thundercats figures. I'm sure there are differences. As a matter of fact, it looks like that Mumra might be a different sculpt.
I thought so too when I saw the pictures from their booth. And when I was looking at my Mummy Mumra, I was like, man, maybe it's just the angles at which they took it. I mean, it definitely looked, I don't know, it looked like a new head. It looked like a new torso body.
Right. The sculpt looks a little sharper, maybe. More defined.
But I'm super excited for the Ghost Jaga, because the original one sold out. And it goes for mad money online. And it was one of those figures that whenever Brian Flynn and I have talked at Joe Fest, he uses that as one of the examples of, we get all these people asking us to re-release Ghost Jaga because they weren't able to get it. And then you have to kind of weigh your options of, will enough people buy it to justify it, yada, yada, yada. And so that they can put it out in deluxe form. Like, I didn't have an interest in Ghost Jaga because I have, original non-dead Jaga. But this, now I'm like, okay, for $40, I take it.
See, for me, it was the opposite. I didn't want flesh and blood Jaga. I only wanted dead Jaga, because that's how he was most of the time in the show. That's the one I wanted. And I can't remember how he was offered, but I got him on like a second. I don't remember if he was convention exclusive and then somebody got like a really limited quantity, but I got him from a second release or batch or something, because I thought I had missed him, and then another opportunity came up and I got one. If only I had known this was coming, I would have sold the one I have a month ago. Here's my advice. If anybody takes anything away from this episode, from this show, a month before Toy Fair, just sell all your shit.
Well, but I mean, the Ultimates version has the extra hands and all that other stuff that Deluxe wants. So I'm sure there are still people that
that'll want it
to spend $200 on a Jaga figure.
But for me, I'm perfectly happy with like, because I look at it as like this: if they release a figure as a deluxe and have never done an ultimate of it, like it's only ever released as a deluxe, well, that's what I got. If it's C-grips, if it's a smiling face, whatever, well, that's how it is. Done. Got it. Got the figure. I don't need all those options.
That's what I'm like. For a line like Thundercats, I just want the character. Can Lino hold his sword? Great. I'm good. I don't need the short sword and the claw and all that stuff.
I don't need all that bullshit they throw in for toy photography. That's what it should be, like the toy photographer option and the regular person option.
Yeah. Because all that stuff's just going to go in a pile. Like, I'm going to go, look at that hand, and I'm going to throw it in my pile of crap.
I've got so many drawers just full of bags of parts. It's ridiculous.
But see, you also are able, like, you know, when you put your figures on the shelf, you don't have to rotate through because of space the same way that I do. So I am that person that will just swap out hands every now and then, because you know what? I need, you know, I'm looking at my shelf now, like I need Rotaro pointing at Monkeyan and Slythe, just like, yep, here we are.
You got to keep it fresh.
Exactly.
Well, and I will say this for the Ultimate stuff, it is good. You never know when you need it, because the one I can't remember his name, the one character with the crossed arms.
Oh yeah, Captain Plunder.
That's literally like 90% of the time that's what he looks like. But if you just did him as a deluxe, well, you can't sell just that version, so you wouldn't be able to get that pose. So even if it's a tertiary character like that, sometimes they do need that ultimate treatment for that dumb reason. All right. What else have we got here? Oh, here we go. Okay, so we're talking Micronauts. And actually, technically, this newest wave of Micronauts is 3 figures. The Emperor and 2 variations of Time Traveler, a yellow and a blue. And Kristian, I knew you had to be excited about this.
Yes. Yep.
So
I can't believe they went to the well to pull the Emperor. Like it's like when Palisades redid Micronauts and they put out Red Falcon. Like, you know, it's not a figure that you could have gotten in the States. So, and God, that package artwork is so cool of him.
It's all of them. The Time Traveler is really cool too. Like, they look great. So if you would give us a little background on the original versions of these characters.
Okay, so the Emperor was what they call one of the Magno figures, right? So his chest used that Baron Karza Jeeg body, that the shoulder and leg joints were held together by magnets, so you could take him apart and rearrange his body and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, he was only released in Europe, and I don't think he ever made an appearance in the Marvel comics. So I feel like there's, like, when it comes to like Micronauts lore, he is a clean slate. The Time Travelers were like the first Micronaut, you know, figures that were put out by Mego. So they had like, they weren't clear, but you had basically the one form factor, and they just put it out right in different colors. In the Micronauts lore, they sort of go into like this hibernation, like mental state, and they can
Didn't
travel.
They come with like pods or something,
right? And so they could travel across the microverse that way. You know, they can travel for thousands of years, basically space and time, and not age.
Okay.
And most of them, like the original Biotron, was, you know, you would put your time traveler inside Biotron, and then boom, now he can explore,
and you know what I'm noticing?
The universe.
You know, we always talk about on Audible Interlude when we're covering stuff that once you look at stuff on a bigger screen, you'll notice things. The Time Travelers have different sculpts. Look at their torsos.
Yep.
Oh, that's wild.
It looks like everything else is this. I mean, the heads are really too small for us to tell. They look the same, but I'm not positive. But those torsos are different. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, because in the original Micronauts line, you had oh gosh, I can't think of their names now. Well, you had the magicians, you had like basically it was the same body, right? The chest piece would be a little different, and then whatever pod they came with, like the pharaohs came with like an Egyptian sarcophagus, right?
Okay.
The magicians, I think the magicians, it was either like an Easter Island head, because one of them came in that, one of them came in the Japanese, what is it, the Dao alien, the big round eyes. I can't, but yeah.
So great to see this line continuing on. And the time travelers, I think those are, even for people who may not remember or weren't around for the original Micronauts, I feel like everyone who's collecting toys in 2026 has seen these like at a toy show or an antique store or so. Like these are like the Clash of the Titans death figure. They're one of those things. They're just all over. They should, even if you don't know what it is, you're like, oh, that's that thing.
Oh, so I'm looking at Toy Polloi, and actually with Mego, those first wave of time travelers, the silver and gold chess piece is different on each of them.
Oh, I
that's wild.
Absolutely never would have known that.
Me neither.
And I just realized, Kristian, you're technically a guest on this episode. I'm sitting here looking at the comments and realizing, oh no, that's my responsibility tonight.
No, I've been doing that as well. That's why I pulled up the one earlier.
Oh, that's right. You did pop one up earlier. I'm just going to throw a couple things up here real quick. We've got Silent Interlude here hanging out saying Visionaries. I'm going to have to get these. And yeah, their Reaction Plus is perfect for those. Wreck Ship is here saying toy photography. And then Reverend Scott Stripling, that translucent plastic will be so cool. And yes, it will. And we seem to be at a point where people are able to manage translucent plastic a little better than they were 10 years ago. So very exciting. Speaking of translucent plastic, this might have been the biggest turnaround of emotion that I experienced through all of Toy Fair, because I saw that what we're looking at right here is Matt Tracker and the Thunderwing. Thank you. Thunderwing from Mask with an awesome holographic like grid look to it. This is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. And like I saw this and I was like, oh man, this is great. I will totally get this. This is such a cool thing. And then I was like, oh no, wait. I don't want to buy anything from the Loyal Subjects anymore. Never mind. Which, if you haven't listened to the most recent Audible Interlude, I'm getting rid of my first wave of Loyal Subjects Mask because I'm so dissatisfied with the product and with the company's response to things that I just don't want it anymore. So hit me up if you want that first wave of Mask products. It's in the Audible Army Facebook group right now. I added up how much it would cost to buy 4 classified Royal Guards from Big Bad Toy Store and have them shipped to me. And that's what I'm selling that for in the Audible Army Facebook group. Outside of that, I'll bring the price up a little bit, but hit me up if you're interested.
Okay, I want to pull up one more comment for some useless lore information. Okay, Xavier Navarro, do you think there should be 6-inch Micronauts? While I do think that would be cool in both Micronauts and the original Japanese toy line, Microman, the whole gist of them is that they are aliens who are toy sized. So in our world, like that's why, like Soundwave originated in the Microman Change line. That's why he's the size that he is. So I actually, while it would be cool, no, I don't think 6-inch Micromen would make sense because they're 3 3/4 inch aliens.
Technically 1-to-1 scale.
Yeah.
Weren't there some characters that were larger though?
But most of those were robots or machines. So like Biotron was like a 12-inch figure. Microtron was bigger than a regular one. You had
But that's what I'm saying is could Super 7 do like one of the super cyborgs of Biotron?
Oh, yes. Yes. I was thinking of just like the micro men themselves.
Yeah,
But yeah, if you wanted to keep it at a 1-1 scale, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I hope with the success of this, they will put out a Biotron that you can actually put a figure into.
That would be awesome. And that, again, that super cyborg is exactly where that would be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So mixed feelings here. Trick or Treat Studios is really, really going hard with their toys.
Mm-hmm.
And normally I would be super excited for Hellraiser toys. But these, while they look pretty good, and if you want Hellraiser toys in 2026, this is where you're going to get them. They don't look as good as the NECA ones from 25 years ago or whatever.
No. Yeah, I was kind of the same. I was excited to see him at first, and I really started looking at him, and I was like, I already have ones that look pretty on par with this.
Yeah, I don't get, and we'll talk more about it in a minute. I don't get what Trick or Treat Studios is doing. They have so many different form factors. It's bizarre. And I have to say, their pricing baffles me at times.
What did these go for?
I don't know, but they're comparable. If these are their like 8-inch scale figures, they're going to be like $40.
Yeah.
With 3 points of articulation or whatever. It's wild.
They're like modern, well, they're screen greats. They're modern day movie maniacs. The original statue.
Yeah. So here we also have some Trick or Treat Studios product. And I have been dreaming of Clarence Boddicker and his gang in action figure form forever. RoboCop's one of my favorite movies of all time. When I was like 11, I would come home from school and watch it every day. Like I had it recorded off of HBO or whatever, which is insane. Well, I guess, no, I would have had to been 12. So around 12. Love RoboCop. But here we have, it's a 5-inch figure or 5-inch figures. We're looking at RoboCop and Clarence Boddicker. But these are a different form factor from Trick or Treat's other 5-inch figures. They have different articulation and a different look to them. So not only do they not go with anything else you own, they don't go with the other lines that this company is producing. It's and I also am just not sure who this is aimed at, because these are clearly more like toy looking.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going for the realism, which is okay. But if these are $30 a piece, which I think is what they are, no. I would honestly rather these be completely Ninja Turtle style. If they're not going to be realistic, I would rather them be straight up done like Ninja Turtles, so they can go with, it'll just be fun. Make them fun. Because here you're in this weird middle point between fun and realism that I'm just not really that interested in.
And Clarence is fun. He's a great time.
He's a fun guy. Isn't he a treat? But I'll probably end up with these. If you remember, I think it was a foreign company did do Clarence and his gang. I don't know if they've come out yet or not, because they were so expensive. I didn't even consider getting them. And they were, in theory, compatible with NECA. But I don't know what happened with those, to be honest. Apologize for any dog noise that gets picked up in the background. And speaking of something that Trick or Treat is great at, and whoever it is that does love Toxic Crusaders and is producing unproduced figures and gimmicks that were never produced, because Dr. Killamoth has that removable head. Good for them, and this is just so exciting. We see right here, we've got I can't remember, what was the mayor's name?
Oh, I have to look it up.
Oh,
yeah, I can't remember the mayor's name.
I'm always like, the mayor.
Yeah. And then Yvonne, which was an unreleased figure that did get a prototype. And then just for fun, a Melvin that has snap-on parts so he can transform. This line, they're knocking it out of the park. And if you're watching on Needless Things YouTube channel, like, I think you can kind of maybe see what I'm saying when I say just do RoboCop like this. How much fun would that be? Oh, think about Emil. Like, melting Emil like this would be great. They fit right in. And that's with all of Trick or Treat stuff. I think if they had just said, look, we're using the old Varner Studios form factor. Heck, get Varner Studios to design them. And this is what we're doing. It's new Ninja Turtle style, just like Super 7 did with Reaction, where they took that Kenner form factor, but put all these different licenses in it. How successful would it have been if Trick or Treat had said, well, the form factor we're choosing is Ninja Turtles, Varner Studios, and we're getting all these different licenses. We're going to do Michael Myers and Freddy and Ninja Turtle style. We're going to do, which is kind of what they did with House of a Thousand Corpses and Terrifier, but I feel like they didn't commit to it. Like, they're that size, and you can kind of put them next to Ninja Turtles figures, but they kind of didn't go all the way with it. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's
so excited
Brody.
for this stuff. Oh, well, of course it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's see. I changed up a couple of things. So right now we're in mystery territory because my notes don't match my pictures. So let's find out what's next. Oh, it's Bozo!
Oh, yay!
This is, I think this was also Trick or Treat. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So this is a 5-inch Bozo that, again, is that size and those points of articulation, but just isn't quite, like, you could put him next to your Ninja Turtles, but he's not quite that sculpt. But I will 100% buy this because I loved the Bozo show when I was a kid. We have done variations on the bucket game at many of the game shows that I've hosted, and that's 100% where I got that from. So this is a must-have, and I'm happy to see it. And I believe David Arquette owns the Bozo license and might even be Bozo now.
What?
Yeah, I believe that's correct. Okay, hang on. Let me do a little...
Where is he Bozo? Like a bar in his neighborhood? Like,
I mean, that's entirely possible.
Right on.
Yeah, he bought the rights in 2021.
Yeah.
Aiming to revive the character.
Yeah, he loves Bozo the Clown. So
that's awesome.
He has performed as Bozo, including hosting Bob Ross painting classes and character at Billy Corgan's Madame Zuzu's in 2024. And that sentence almost melted my face off. That was too much. I wasn't ready for that sentence.
Now all I can think of is the scene in Buffy the Vampire Slayer where they're kind of spoofing on Salem's Lot, where he's floating outside the window, but now he's dressed as Bozo. Let me in. I'm hungry. Let's play the bucket game.
So yeah, he's this is great. I love seeing this. Next mystery image, and it might be starting up our coverage. We'll see. Oh, nope. We got to talk about Battlestar Galactica. So Factory Entertainment, and these pre-orders are already up on Big Bad Toy Store. Factory Entertainment has the Battlestar Galactica license, and these are 3 3/4 inch figures. And The set of 5 figures is $120. And they are also releasing, guess the price point on the vehicle.
It was 2 something.
Holy.
$250.
Yeah.
For the what the heck are the Colonial
Viper?
Vipers.
Viper?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Brain. And the pilot, yeah, $250. Absolutely wild. And the thing looks great. Or this, I guess this is probably a render. The render of the thing looks great.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta wonder, are there that many Battlestar Galactica original?
But
if you're listening, this is original Battlestar.
And I feel like this is one of those Super 7 moments when Brian Flynn, says, hey, the price, like when they did the Thunder Tank, where they were like, we know we can sell X amount, and the Thunder Tank has to be priced
right
X amount in order to make it. I feel like they know that original Battlestar is kind of a niche when you go to conventions.
Right.
And I it's a very cool ship. And if it was $100, I'm sure they would sell a lot more to non-Battlestar fans. But at that price point, I'm thinking they realize we're going to move like maybe 400, 300 of these. And that's it.
Joe RH42 says it is going to have electronics too. So that's cool.
But will it have a missile that I can choke on? And that's not a euphemism.
Yeah, you know what? Wouldn't that be like kind of a great little Easter egg if they did throw that in?
They absolutely should.
We got to look at NECA's 8-inch clothed Mego style, basically. Batman Returns figures, which was wild to see because I don't think anybody had any idea NECA was even messing with the Batman license still. And at first I was mad because I don't really love any of McFarlane's figure releases. And I was like, man, I just bought these. But then I thought about how many more characters McFarlane put out, because we got a Max Schreck, we got the Penguins, we got the freaking Duck. I've got the Duck on my shelf. Come on. And weirdly, that's not the right Batman. You'll notice that's the one from the first movie. And watching one of the Booth videos, he doesn't look great.
Yeah, I was real excited about these when those first pictures came out. Then I saw the Booth video and I was like, oh, wait a second. The cowl doesn't fit right in the Booth video. Like it's floating almost on the figure.
These are a ways off. I think they don't come out until the end of the year. So I don't know what stage of production those at the booth were. And I've got a ton of these kinds of figures from NECA, and they're great. So it remains to be seen. But I did not put in a pre-order because I'm like I said, the variety that McFarlane put out, while I would love to see some clowns and the poodle lady, I'll just stick with what I got. And now we are into our pre-show picks. I forgot to put it in, didn't I? Okay. Mezco announced that they're doing Thundercats, which I would assume will be 112 Collective.
Yeah,
now Mezco has had the Thundercats license before. And I've got the big, like 24-inch Lion-O and Mumra that they did, and they're great. And 112 Collective Thundercats, I'm sure will be great. But good Lord, how many Thundercats do we need, people? We've got so many Thundercats from the last 5-ish years. So to keep moving on, this was my pick for my favorite pre-Toy Fair release. These are the second wave of Universal Monsters Reaction Plus figures. Bride of Frankenstein, and the Mummy. And they're instant buys for me, no question at all. As soon as they go up for pre-order, as soon as I go up for pre-order and I've got a sense of the pricing, because I think Amok Time already put them up for pre-order, and it was $70 for all three, which is a weird price because it was $70 with free shipping. So my suspicion is that these might still be $20 a piece, because if you remember, the first wave were 20 a piece. So I don't think Amok Time is selling them for a loss, and I wonder if they're packing the shipping into that $70 price tag.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of waiting to see who else and when they put them up before I do any kind of order. Well, and plus, now that we've got free shipping from Super 7, if you signed up for that, get them from there anyway, because they'll probably deliver fastest, because they've been pretty big on that. So that was my pick for pre-show. I think, let's see here. Okay, well, you guys both.
Do we both pick Magic?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to believe in magic.
So I went from like really excited during, the Pulse thing. And then I looked at the yellow closer and went, oh no. Because now you're going to get this Magic with this yellow that doesn't match the yellow of the Danny Karma Walgreens one, which doesn't match the 97.
Either, though.
Why does Hasbro do this? Like, this is the Magic I wanted. She looks great.
I mean, I would hope, because they said that, or I guess there's the rumor that they're doing the Sam Doug.
They're on the package.
So I would hope, though, that they would put out a newer version of Danny that is on the I'm considering this a teen body. The Walgreens Danny Karma Wolfsbane, like, that doesn't even, to me, that does not even look like New Mutants Danny. That's post like Schism. We don't know what to do with these characters, Danny.
I'm not going to argue that, yes, we need all three of those characters on newer, basically on this. However, I already have all three of them. I went to great lengths to buy the two more. So, because if you remember, for listeners or watchers, it was one figure that came with three portraits and a bunch of accessories. So you could do all three characters, but you had to buy three of the figure. And the problem is, it was a Walgreens exclusive that was difficult to find at all in the first place. And I think, wasn't that one after the Cuckoos?
I'm not for sure.
Yeah, I think it was.
Because I feel like the Cuckoos sat and sat and sat. And then, so maybe Walgreens was a little gun shy about Moonstar and didn't get as many or whatever happened. I had a heck of a time finding even one. And then some weird website got them, and clearly a ton of them, because I think they took a long time to sell out. Do you remember what it was?
Oh, I do remember that, because that's where I got my last one.
Was it just Big Bad? Did Big Bad get them maybe?
It might have been Big Bad.
Somebody got them, and I ordered two more, and I was like, cool, great. Now we'll see the rest of these characters any day now, and that was like 6 years ago or whatever.
Yeah, for a good long time, I just had like Danny and Wolfsbane, and then Karma's head was just kind of hanging out next to him.
Think about it. That's kind of what happened in the comics, because she disappeared in the single issues and didn't come back until the 30s.
Yeah.
So let's see. Okay, this brings us to the major portion of the show where we have each chosen our favorite things that were revealed or shown at Toy Fair. There was some overlap, so just like with Magic there, we'll be doubling up in a couple of cases. But this was my first pick. I have been waiting for this Smart Hulk, for a Smart Hulk. This is, in my head, this is like the Peter David Smart Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
And really, if they had released this Hulk 10 years ago, I would never have needed to buy another Hulk. I love this version of the character. I love this run of the comics. And it is very reminiscent of the Toy Biz Smart Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfection. It looks exactly like it should look with the bunny slippers.
Yeah, it's got the bunny slippers from the War and Pieces arc, which is the big Smart Hulk crossover with X Factor. Like it's exactly what they should have done. And I'm even more, I mean, I was always going to buy it, but especially with Peter David's passing over the last year, like it's a must buy.
Yeah, this is a beauty. I think this is one of those Marvel Legends figures that I think probably like 90% of Marvel Legends fans are going to buy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
thing. There's so many that are niche or not the version or whatever, but I think everybody's going to want this.
I do not have a single Marvel Legends Hulk figure because this is the one that I have wanted.
All right. Next up, I think Ryan, you're next with. Nope, I was wrong. Kristian. Kristian, you're next.
Yes.
And I wrote before I looked at your picture description, I just wrote some transformer.
A robot.
Some transformer. It swerved. And while, in the vintage line, sure, he was just a redeco of Gears. If you loved the IDW Transformer comics like I did, it's so cool to finally have this version. He was a bartender, and he was such a terrible fighter that they made him like basically a My First Blaster. And he comes with that. Like this is just pure IDW love. And
that's awesome.
Yeah. This perfection.
How big is he? What size, height wise?
So he's what is it? Voyager? He's the 27.99, like the basic figure. And the only other time we got him in sort of his IDW form was like, the little $10 super small versions, which obviously, not that Transformers has a problem with scale, but didn't fit with anything. So now, he is going to be the same size as all of the like the Walmart G1 redecos and all of
kind
that.
Of stand, like around 6 inches.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I was just wondering, since he's a bartender, I was just wondering if you could put him in your cantina.
Oh.
Little toy photography opportunity for you there. Let's see. What is next? Okay, now it's Ryan.
I mean, look, you put out a animated series, Zatanna, I'm going to buy it every time. It doesn't matter what company it is. Like, I have not bought many of the McFarlane figures, but a lot of these animated ones I'll get. I just like the design a lot of her, and I think they did a great job with the design on her.
Yeah, I've got all of the DC collectibles animated figures, and this isn't, talking before about form factor and consistency. This is one of those instances, and I give McFarlane a ton of credit for this and for the superpowers of continuing a form factor that they didn't start. It's incredible.
Yeah, it just looks dead on.
The only thing that's frustrating is, so as I've got all the DC collectibles releases, but then the last 2 or 3 didn't come with those obnoxious stands. But so many of the figures don't stand up without those stands. So I still have not put, was it Firefly and Grey Ghost?
Yep.
Isn't that who it was?
Yeah.
They're just laying in the Batcave because I haven't put them up with the rest of them because I can't tolerate that inconsistency. And these obviously don't have those stands either. So I haven't bought any of these, even though they've done a few characters that I wouldn't mind having. And this is Zatanna's one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think my Firefly's leaning against the Batmobile right now.
You know what I should do with him anyway is just hang him. That way it doesn't, you don't have to worry about a stand.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, as much as I speak poorly about McFarlane and don't care for their standard superhero releases, the stuff like this that they do, and you know, some of the Batmobiles they've done, they have done a lot of really cool stuff. And I think that's wherever the weirdness of that company's decisions comes from, which usually I'll just say, I guess Todd McFarlane likes it this way. It does lead to really cool things amongst all of the frustrating things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is my next pick, Super 7. You know, you could see a pattern with the way that they've been doing hip hop releases. And as soon as they showed that Tribe Called Quest box set, I knew De La Soul had to be pretty close. And this is from the start of Super 7's reaction. This is a dream set for me. De La Soul reaction figures, just gorgeous packaging, inspired by 3 Feet High and Rising. Their looks, I believe these are their looks from the Me, Myself, and I video. But this is just so awesome to see. And I'll buy 2 sets of these because I have to open them, but I have to get that card art and keep it and put it up on the wall. So, I mean, they're one of my favorite groups. This is just amazing.
Yeah, these are an instant buy for me.
Let's see. I think we got out of order. So Ryan, you might. Nope. I guess I just did everything. Redid everything. So Kristian, yeah, this is definitely all you.
Yes. So Bandai America, with their Godzilla Rampage line, we're finally getting a Ghidorah figure, like old school classic Showa era Ghidorah, which I've been waiting, for Super 7 in the Ultimates line. So this is absolutely a must buy. One of the other things, you can kind of see it in the corner of the picture. Everybody has to do a burning Godzilla now, which is not one of my favorites, but this one has glow in the dark. So I'm kind of a sucker for glow in the dark.
It looks like it also has like smoke effects on it or something.
It has smoke effects that you can snap onto it.
Oh, that's cool.
For sure, the smoke effects glow in the dark. I'm hoping maybe some of the parts of Godzilla does as well, but it'll it's gonna be a must buy. And I think these work well with the Godzilla Deluxe figures that Super 7 put out. So, like, if you're a Godzilla fan right now, man, it's been really, really great.
After years of nobody producing anybody but Godzilla, now we've got this wealth of all of the other monsters coming out from all of these companies. And if that price tag is correct, it's $27.99.
Yeah,
for that.
That's the thing, is they're nicely affordable. They're not the most crazy articulated, and you can see the neck joint there in Ghidorah in order to have him look down. But I honestly don't care about that.
No, dude,
these are gorgeous looking figures.
And these are the ones that are at Target, right?
Correct.
I mean, I'm sure there are lots of places, but you can walk into a Target and they're in the collector section.
Yep.
And I'll say the Super 7 Deluxe ones, because they've all gone on clearance so far. I don't need those for my collection, but when they're like $12, I can't not buy them. And those little Deluxe Super 7 ones are great, just not for $35.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I I went to one Target and I think it's the Mecha Godzilla wave were marked down to $8 a piece, and I bought all the ones that they have. So if you come out to the Big Damn Game Show at Dragon Con this year, those will be in our prize packs.
That's a good prize.
Yeah,
it's a great prize. Well, and that's you got to be smart with your clearance and how long you hang on to it. Let's see. All right, Ryan, this is all you.
All right, so this is the Mattel. This is the first time we've seen them. This is the kid line for Flash. I mainly picked this one because if this is the kid line, I cannot wait to see the collector line. This is better than what McFarlane's putting out.
Right?
See
That's exactly.
That's a thigh swivel. See how that works? Like.
I mean, I recently got some of my DC Classics, universe figures out because I was like, I haven't done anything with them for a while. And after handling Marvel Legends again, I was like, ooh, man, these older figures in that line are rough. And then I see this and I'm like, the kids line is better than our original DC Classics line.
Yeah.
This is great and affordable.
These appear to be roughly parallel to Mattel's WWE main event line, which again is considered the simpler kid focus line. Although it looks like these have more articulation than those do. But if the DC collector figures, which coming in 2027, we now know, if the DC collector figures are equivalent to Mattel's WWE Elites or their Ultimates, it's going to be some amazing stuff.
Yeah. And the Batman they showed, I mean, there's a good gray and black one that's a more basic kind of classic Batman that looks great. And they had, the different colors and a weird looking Batmobile. But like you said, the articulation, just the detail for a basic line is real impressive.
Well, that Batmobile looks awesome. Did you see when they split the front open and put Robin's pod in the middle? Like, that thing's great. It's a great toy. It's an awesome toy.
Yeah, so I think Mattel is really going hard on these DC license, which is going to be great.
Another pick for me, Beastie Boys. I mean, since they got the Beastie Boys license, this is exactly what I wanted. It's them from the Intergalactic video. However, I'm disappointed that these aren't Reaction Plus. Because just look at the card art. Like, that's part of the video is them doing the dancing. Like, I wish they had done this in Reaction Plus.
They can only...
Yeah. Yeah, and I get that they're probably still thinking of these as more of like an art project than as action figures. But still happy to see them. They look great. The colors are vibrant. The card art's amazing. But to go back to the Super Cyborg idea, they now have to do a Super Cyborg or even one of the big Shogun size toys of the robot. Because at the end of the video, when the robot puts him in his chest, like if they and I have not bought any of Super 7's Shogun stuff, but I'd buy that in a second.
That would be amazing.
Okay, Kristian.
Yeah.
You go ahead, but we're gonna have to talk about this.
Okay. So oh my gosh. Here we go. Sneak Attack Toys, new company I'd not heard of. It's Denver the Last Dinosaur. Because he's your friend and a whole lot more.
A whole lot more.
Stop. Whole lot more. Like, he comes with his guitar. Like when I think of animated properties that you're just never going to see product of, this was up there. Like
rightfully so.
The fact that we're getting a Denver the Last Dinosaur now gives me hope that I will one day see Teen Wolf, the animated series, action figures, Galaxy High action figures, Beverly Hills Teens action figures. Like, I just want this to continue as much as it can. And I absolutely am going to buy this. Was Denver one of my favorite cartoons? No, but there's a lot of nostalgia there, and it's one of the greatest theme songs of a cartoon.
Hang on, wait. You guys talk about Denver for like just another minute. I'll be right back.
I almost picked Denver. Now, all right, my question is, when I was looking at that, how is Denver holding that guitar?
Yeah,
because he's got to be able to hold it.
I'm assuming it'll probably just have a strap, and there won't be any actual playing. But that's okay, because I feel like that we don't know what the cost is going to be, but I can't imagine it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
So
because it's just
Kristian,
nice and simple.
Kristian, you can have your Denver, and I will stay right here content with my Penosaurus.
Oh.
The Chris Pontius Penosaurus from Jackass. That's all I need right there. I don't need Denver the Last Dinosaur.
Well, Penosaurus can be Denver's whole lot more friend.
A whole lot more.
Literally the only I never watched this show when it was on. I don't know what year it was or whatever. The only reason I have and it's going to happen again. The only reason I have bad feelings about this is he got brought up on another Needless Things podcast years ago, and that fucking theme song was stuck in my head for like a year, and I wanted to die.
So what you're saying is I should include it in the get the crowd revved up premix for Dragon Con.
You if anybody wants to see a violent action taken against Kristian, come out to the Big Damn Game Show at Dragon Con.
It'll get me there early.
All right. But I will agree though. Oh, and I believe this company is the same company that does the Bull Airs shoes.
Yeah, which I was looking when more pictures of their booth stuff came out, and I'm like, they do a lot of stuff with shoes. I'm not a shoe person, so I don't know what any of that stuff is, but I know that they're making Billy Bob from the Rocket Fire Explosion to be able to put on your shoestrings, and that's awesome.
Well, what gives me pause here is a pair of their shoes is something like $275. So I'm kind of wondering how much Denver is going to be.
So scratch my comment while you were gone, because we were talking about his lack of articulation, and I was like, yeah, so he won't be that expensive.
$20.
Watch him be as much as that Colonial Viper.
He's probably going to come with shoes or something.
Well, if you notice, there are shoes in the image behind him.
Mm-hmm.
So what if you have to buy? What if it's a set of Denver shoes with this figure? Wouldn't that be a smack in the head?
Yeah.
All right, next up, Ryan, this is you, and I agree 100%.
Well, so I'm not sure if you or the listeners are aware, but NECA makes Predator figures.
No, what? No.
God. But from Badlands, we've got Thea and Bud. I was a huge fan of the movie. And I don't get the Predator figures.
Oh, really. I do.
Do you? See, I don't get them. But I've get
got
this.
2 shelves going around a corner of the room on the other side. There are at least 40 Predators up there.
Mm-hmm. I think
I haven't bought any recently.
Yeah, I think the movie debuted on Hulu last week, And I
Yeah, I just watched it last
I've
week.
watched it like 5 times since they put it on there. Like, I really like it.
It's amazing. It's like reading a Dark Horse comic.
Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I'm really excited they did it in this factor just with the torso and that multiple head sculpts and having the different facial plates for Bud. Like, it's just great.
Well, and they've done so few human characters from Predator because they do the Predators over and over and over and over again, but they haven't done a ton of humans. So I'm really glad to see, especially, they did several from the first movie, but we don't have a Danny Glover, which I want. Honestly, I want the whole cast of Predator 2. That movie's so underrated.
Oh yeah.
But it had a lot to live up to because Predator is right up there with RoboCop for me as like a perfect movie. But yeah, it's great to see a variation in character, something other than a Predator in this line. But I do hope they do like her legs and then like her rebuilt. I would love to see. Well, and you know what? They could probably do because they had different uniforms. I was going to say they could also do Tessa, but she had a different uniform, like a pack that was swappable portraits.
Yeah,
but they didn't have the same body.
They could do Tessa and then give us Thea's legs as a pack-in.
Yeah,
it could be the accessory.
Like but yeah, this is a great pick, and of course, Bug. Like that's great character. That at first looks like it's going to be the wheelie of 2026, but then ends up being great.
Absolutely.
All right. Back to me, but I'm sure we all want to talk about this, and I think Kristian, this was actually one of your picks, right?
Or wasn't.
Oh, okay.
It got beat out by something else.
Okay. So this is since NECA got Sesame Street, we have talked many times about like, well, could they at least do Kermit since Kermit was on Sesame Street, do him in his little coat and hat. But they have gone even further and are doing the Muppets. And this is, for me, the biggest and best news out of Toy Fair. It was announced pre-Toy Fair, and my response was, well, you just won. Like nothing else is going to beat this, and I still feel that way. And the initial wave of figures looks like it's going to be Miss Piggy, Gonzo with Camilla.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the Manamana guy and the two creatures that come with him. Excellent way to start. Well, and also you see behind them Rolf's piano, which I'm sure is a sign of things to come. All the vegetables, which maybe is a sign of Swedish Chef or just a playset of some kind. I don't know. But this, I couldn't be more excited because they're Sesame Street figures that I said I wasn't going to get, but I ended up getting, are some of the best things NECA's ever done. Bert and Ernie and the Count. And now, of course, I'm on board for Big Bird. And like, I can't, they're so freaking good. And that's my childhood.
When I saw this display too, one of the first things I thought is, are they going to sell this stage too? Because I really want it. I want a playset. Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me if they did a stage. I mean, this one looks very like constructed. It doesn't look like a toy at all. But a stage would be great. But what I pictured was, they did that Ninja Turtles city diorama. What if they did the like booths from the opening of the show where you could put the figures as a display?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it would be massive, but so is that diorama. But yeah, imagine if they did like a 3 foot by 3 foot and that's how you display the figures.
Ooh,
that'd be incredible. And that just, Randy, give me a call. All right, Kristian, back to you.
Yes, and back to
this
Nacelle.
is the most Kristian pick of the, even over Denver. This is the most Kristian pick of the show.
So I think I talked about it before. Nacelle getting the Power Lords license, and there's been other companies that have gotten that license and not really been able to do a lot of great things with it. And boom, right out of the gate, we're getting Arcus, and look how huge he is, because I'm assuming that Adam Power is going to be the same, like, he's the 6-inch scale figure.
Right.
So the energy stand that he comes with so that you can make him fly is great. And they going with the look that they gave him in the RoboForce cartoon, because if you haven't watched it on Tubi, it's like 6 episodes, and it is a shared universe that Nacelle is going for with all of their properties. So Sectors, Power Lords, the Cowboys of Moo Mesa, the Biker Mice from Mars, and RoboForce all exist in the same universe. It is wild. But the original Power Lord figures are so incredibly fragile, especially the aliens, because of those very wild designs that they have. And so by going by the more cartoony look, they were able to make him just a little thicker. And man, I mean, even if you weren't a Power Lord's figure, I just think that is such a cool looking design.
Yeah.
And he would fit in with any other line you have that is, more animated based.
Well, I agree. This is one of those like special centerpiece type toys where, like, even if you're not a fan of the franchise, like, this is so striking. If you've got the space to just put something cool on your shelf, this is one of those kinds of things.
With a bunch of these announcements from this toy fair, I kept seeing pictures and I was like, oh, look, it's all the things we talked about on Hasbro Palooza episode 1. Because there's like tons of them. I was like, this is weird.
Well, and some of the stuff we're talking about this year, we also, because we talked about these Power Lords on last year's Toy Fair coverage, because that was when they were first announced. So it's the progress is slow with some of these things, but great to see. These are Power Lords creep me out, but great to see that they're, again, Brian Volk-Weiss, isn't that his name? Clearly loves Power Lords. Pee-wee. I think, Ryan, you and I both picked Pee-wee. I don't know.
Same here.
Kristian, did you pick? Yeah,
Yep.
so we all picked Pee-wee. This is great, but infuriating.
It's great for me because I didn't buy the first one.
Didn't buy the other one?
I never got around to it, even though he was on my list of mine.
So this has a few extra portraits over the last release and comes with Randy and Globy, which the last release did not have. And and it comes with his bag on a stick, which I know there's a term for that that's not appropriate. I can't remember what it is, but I just remember, like, I don't think I want to say that. But it's great. Any Pee Wee Herman merchandise is excellent. I hope they do other characters. We talked when the first one came out about wanting, Cherry and Magic Screen and Conky and anything they want to make, I'm in.
Yeah, I keep thinking, like, when I saw this, I'm like, NECA has done those accessory packs. I mean, they just announced the one for Friday the 13th Part 2. The mother. Well, from the game. We've got to specify all of that. That's why none of those Jasons are in my picks here. They're all from the game, and you look at them and you can tell they're from the game. It's really weird.
Yeah.
So,
but
anyway, sorry. Yeah,
but
they
have
do
a history of it.
That's the thing. Yeah.
So I put Cherry out as an accessory pack with like Magic Screen. I'm really, with the passing of Lynn Marie Stewart, we need a Miss Yvonne. Even if you don't make anybody else in the line, we need a Miss Yvonne, and let her come with the Puppet Land band. Like, I just feel like there's so much more potential in this line, and getting a second figure shows me the first one did well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I said last year, if you can make the whorehouse from Beetlejuice, you can make the playhouse for Pee-wee.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott Stripling. Bindle. It is called a bindle. There is a less acceptable term for it, and I can't think what it is. But yes, bindle. He comes with a bindle. Thank you. All right, back to me. This is my second favorite modern thing I'm collecting. Because Masters Universe Origins I find to be like the most satisfying toy line ever. But Hasbro's retro Star Wars figures, I just get so much delight out of them. And the fact that they're doing characters from the original trilogy that were never done by Kenner is amazing. And the newest 6-pack, which may be the only 6 we get in 2026, which in 2023, we got, I think it was 23, it was either 23 or 32 figures. 2024 was like 16, 2025 was 6, and 2026 looks like it's going to be 6. So very slow release rate, but word is that they're going to pick up, that Hasbro has kind of recalculated and reinvested in this form factor, which is very exciting for me. And I would imagine next year with the anniversary, that might be when we see like, oh wow, this is really something. But this 6-pack is excellent. It's Garindin, 2 droids whose names I can't remember, but I want. Creepy droid from the that's from the Jawa scene.
Crawler.
And the other droid, is it from one of the Rebel bases? I don't think it's from the Sandcrawler.
Yeah, that is.
I used to know all of this.
Yeah.
And then Leia from the ceremony. And I got to say, I don't know if I ever thought we'd get Captain Antilles.
Oh, is that who it is?
Yeah, it's Captain Antilles and Wedge Antilles.
Yeah, I figured that was Wedge.
Which is just amazing. And Wedge actually comes with a removable helmet that because I had to put this image together because there weren't any good ones out there. And when I did the background removal on Wedge, it took his helmet off and I just couldn't get it back in. So I was like, all right, whatever. But if you're watching this, that Wedge does come with a helmet. But this, I could not be more excited for this. This is a great, great set. All right. I don't remember. Oh, you both chose DuckTales. But Ryan, you specifically said Gizmo Duck.
It's Gizmo Duck. I love Gizmo Duck. DuckTales, and I almost picked Launchpad. Which one did you pick, Kristian?
Kristian picked the whole.
Oh, the whole one. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So sure.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're going to be 2-packs.
Yeah, which is fantastic because we have all the main characters right here in one wave. We're not going to be stuck.
Whoa, buddy. What about Webigail and
Mrs. Beakley?
Mrs. Beakley. I think of them as main characters. You don't?
I think Beakley, I think, is a main character.
I think if this was the revamp series, then you need Webby and Mrs. Beakley.
That's fair. That's
for
fair.
me. I mean, yes, they were in almost every single episode, but Webby in the original cartoon was, she was written to be a little.
Sure, but I think if they're going ahead with these, I think.
Oh, sure. If there's a wave 2,
yeah.
then Beakley and her. I agree with Reverend Scott. We need Beagle Boys. We need Magica, Dispel,
Glomgold.
Oh yes,
Flintheart Glomgold. Oh man, my brain is just working tonight.
Yeah,
but
except for the Star Wars stuff.
And Ryan, I don't know how you feel about it, but I actually really like that they're doing the sort of same paint style that they use for their cartoon turtles. Like they're using these really heavy black lines, so they look animated.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. It just makes him pop really well.
Yeah.
And I will admit, Magica gave a young Ryan feelings that he didn't that he didn't quite understand.
No, I'm with you on that. Look, her and from Rescue Rangers, Gadget.
Gadget.
Mm-hmm.
There were things happening.
Well, to all the needless things listeners out there, if young you or even older you ever had confusing feelings about Gadget, there's a movie you need to see called Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls, because there is a fantastic scene set to Meatloaf with Gadget.
I cannot recommend that movie enough. It's phenomenal. It's wonderful. And you should also watch the Rescue Rangers movie from a couple years ago.
Yeah, surprisingly not bad.
I would go further than that and say amazing, because it's not anything. It's not what I wanted, but it's incredible, because who would have thought that's what they would do with Rescue Ranger? It was very pandemic-y.
Yes.
Everybody during the pandemic was just doing weird stuff.
But yeah, let this be a start of a whole Disney afternoon line. Like we already got from them. So,
but okay, so let me ask you this: DuckTales, great. Tailspin, fit right in with these.
Yeah.
But when you get to Rescue Rangers, what do? Because they're not the same size as these.
No, but you could. I mean, when who was it? Was it Funko that tried doing the 3 3/4 action figures from the Disney afternoon? And again, we didn't get all the characters because they tried to mix it up. But Chip and Dale are just as big as Uncle Scrooge, and it doesn't faze me at all.
Oh, you are a maniac.
I want to.
Well, I put my action figures on DC Superpower stand, so I live on the
out
edge.
Of control, sir. No, I think my suggestion would be when you get to like Chip and Dale, release them this size, but they include little versions.
There you go.
That'd be good.
And that way, you could even do like the airplane or some of the little cool vehicle things. That. Actually, I'm kind of excited just thinking about that. But let's move on because we got more NECA to talk about.
Yes. I'll be back 1 second.
So surprisingly, I love the Muppets, and I do love the Muppets more than McDonald's Land. Don't get me wrong, but
sure.
I knew the Muppets were going to appear on your all's list as well. And
this was also on my list.
Oh, like
you and I both picked this.
As a kid, from the 70s and 80s, McDonald Land, like go full Sid and Marty Krofft and give us, everything. And I will buy it all. I need, Mayor McCheese. Yes. I need the pirate captain. I can't think of his name at the moment, but just all out. Apple pie tree.
Mac tonight, even?
Yeah.
I'd buy Mac with a piano.
I would.
Or without.
I absolutely would.
That weird alien thing that they tried to introduce in like the 90s, I think.
Oh, I would have to look him up. But I just think NECA won Toy Fair for me because just these properties and screw Supersize Me. Like,
I love me some McDonald's.
Bring Ronald back.
Well, so they just built a McDonald's right around the corner from the house, and I'm fucked because I just love a 2 cheeseburger meal. That is a great lunch, and I've been able to control myself. Although the changeables hit,
I was going
and
to
I've
say,
been there a little more than I wanted to be recently.
yeah.
But yeah, I absolutely love this. Ryan, we were saying, Kristian and I both picked this. That Grimace is great, but I want, maybe as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive or something, I want old creepy Grimace with 4 arms.
Yeah.
Right.
And like old creepy Ronald, old creepy Hamburglar, like the mid 70s, I guess, is when they looked like that.
Yep.
Well,
I want those designs too.
And where's Mayor McCheese? Why does the mayor not get the respect?
I do think what they're showing here, because my assumption is that the cutouts of Ronald and the Hamburglar back there are representing like those characters are coming.
Right. Because it does say pending licensor approval. So.
And then the ones beside, at first I saw the ones beside him, and that Hamburglar kind of just looks like Hamburglar. Like I didn't realize what it was, but him and Birdie, which we'll talk about Birdie later, but they're the little trick-or-treat kids figures.
Yeah, which I've not bought any of those.
I haven't either.
I guess I'm assuming they probably come with pumpkins for trick-or-treating, because I do love that these two come with the boo buckets. So I might have to buy the Hamburglar and then like donate him just so I can have
a mini boo.
A mini boo bucket.
Yeah, those Ben Coopers come with like trick or treat. They come with bags. Well, some have come with a pumpkin. Some come with bags with a character on it.
I haven't bought any of those either. Well, no, I take that back. I've got the Halloween 3 set that they did, but I don't count that. Even though it's the same body and style, I don't count that as those. But I haven't bought any of these. I think they're great. I love that NECA is doing them, but to me, they're just a new version of Funko Pops.
I mean, and they apparently are doing well enough, because
they've got to be.
They've made more of those than I think any other NECA line
ever. All right. Okay, Ryan.
Okay, I will fully admit that the Legends of Laughter Bill Hicks by Nacelle is not a great looking figure.
It certainly isn't.
And not to mention that I would also like to point out that Nacelle used LED puck lights in their display.
Yeah.
But I like the hope of this line. I'm like I really like stand-up comedy and like the idea of being able to get these. And so there's a Bill Hicks. They had a Lenny Bruce. There's a Joan Rivers figure. And interestingly, Nacelle is selling these. You can buy them with albums of some of their bigger stand-up specials. So, I mean, I'm going to buy this because I'm a Bill Hicks fan, but I fully admit it does not look awesome.
So I feel like, and I might be wrong about this because I'm trying to look it up now, and it looks like 2 years ago this was still Nacelle. I thought that it was a different company doing these, and I was wondering if maybe Nacelle picked it up, because this figure looks terrible.
It does.
Yeah,
those elbows, those knees, the crotch, it's horrendous.
Look, does a stand-up comedian need double jointed knees?
No,
I don't think so. But
I think these were like the very first things that Nacelle did, because these came out back in like, I think it was like 2022.
Oh, they came out already.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. Yeah,
oh, I didn't see them. Well, I thought they're like half off right now, and I was like, well, that's quick.
Yeah, because originally, so the Lenny Bruce came out, and I don't know if the Bill Hicks did or not. The only reason why I knew about these was because Joan Rivers passed away, and the line didn't do well, so her figure didn't come out. And then she passes away, and then they release it, and it's a scary looking figure. Like they've come a long way. since these.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I said keep a mental image of those Star Trek figures in your head, because a little while down the road, you're going to see something that does not compute.
Yeah. And I would like to point out on this something we have not seen in a while. If you look in the package, Bill has his cigarette.
Yeah.
And so you can, which is what it should have.
Yeah, absolutely. If they get around to a Sam Kinison, I hope he comes with a giant bowl of cocaine. and a Mark Maron figure that can just sit there looking horrified.
Yeah.
And sad. All right, we got to keep going because we're going to go way long, but that's okay because we're having fun. So this is actually my pick. This is and this is the least Dave pick of anything ever, because what we're looking at is the Power Rangers Godzilla crossover, and I guess this is supposed to be Godzilla as a Megazord kind of.
So it's the Dragon Zord, or if you watch the Japanese version, King Caesar. It's his weapons form that he can go when he connects with the Megazord. So he just basically becomes all of these missiles and armaments.
So I picked this because hopefully that armor thing is removable, because underneath that's a really, really cool, like super retro looking Godzilla figure.
Yeah, I love that face.
And it's the face reminds me of the cartoon a bit. It looks like I haven't included the whole display because with the picture of that, you couldn't really see the Godzilla as well, but it looks like it's about 12 inches tall.
Oh, nice.
So I'm very interested to follow this figure and the color of it too. I think the color is also part of why it makes me think of the cartoon, of just like a washed out 80s cartoon color.
Because the figures themselves are like very bright and cartoony.
Yeah.
They look good. Like that Pink Ranger Mothra is really awesome, but this did stick out to me.
Ryan, we already talked about Smart Hulk. That was one of yours, so we'll move along here.
Just rewind. Yeah.
Next one. Well, and we have run out of Kristian picks at this point.
I was very picky this year for
it. Well, and there wasn't as much, and also I think we're just getting, prices are going up. You got to get pickier. So I don't know if you guys remember a company called Premium DNA. They feels like about 50 years ago, they did a line of Mad Balls figures that took forever to come out. And then they announced the Earthworm Gem license, and then they announced a number of other things. And they used to be called something else and I can't remember the toy store that they were connected with. But anyway, they went through a lot of bad stuff. Somebody else took over the company and delivered those Mad Balls. Like the product came out and they're fantastic. The reviews are here on the channel. You can check out reviews of all those Mad Balls figures. They're awesome. But then there was a problem with the Earthworm Gem stuff. It's supposedly still coming. But what happened is somehow or other, somebody was selling bootlegs of the figures before the figures came out, and people were getting them and being like, these are garbage, this is trash. Like there was some bad thing, but they're supposed to still be coming. They've also done, Road Pig John is here hanging out, and he says they Battletoads and released them. And if the Battletoads are as good as the Mad Balls, then great. They've got Banjo-Kazooie, and they just announced Rocket Knight. Is that the name of the character? Really weird, obscure video game character, but that is out, available now. And what we're looking at is their Contra figures that are coming out in April. And they also, I do, to clarify with Premium DNA, they put out a press release that's really good. If you go to their website, you can check it out. And they basically said, we have determined that the pre-order model is not best for us. Going forward, we will be attempting to only offer products that are at some form of production. So these Contra figures are supposed to arrive around April, and they look awesome.
They really do. I was not aware they had camo pants. I just thought they were red and blue. Who knew?
Yeah, and they're offering variants of the arcade version with the camouflage pants. Well, so they've got green camo pants in the arcade version, and then the red and blue here is from the version we all played at home. But the number of accessories they come with, it's perfect. It's all the power ups. It's this is just an awesome set of figures. How much do you think they are a piece?
Looking at everything that they come with,
I'm gonna bet they try for 60.
Yeah, I was thinking 50 something.
$85 a piece. Yeah, it's a lot. Because if these were, with all of that, if these were Super 7 Ultimate price, I would get them. But I cannot. I don't love Contra that much.
No.
But for people who do, and there are people who are to this day obsessed with Contra, I think they're must-haves. And I will vouch for the quality of Premium DNA stuff. The Mad Balls are fantastic. But these just loaded with hands and alternate portraits. The blue guy, and I can't remember what their names are. Oh, aren't their names? It's not Arnold and Sylvester, but it's something. Isn't it like Dutch and Cobra or something like that? Aren't they? Don't they have
their names
action movie beefcake names?
I just assume their names were Player 1 and Player 2. that's all I realized.
This says their names are Bill and Lance. That doesn't.
From Alien, like Lance
characters
Henriksen
in
and Bill.
Contra.
Huh. Interesting.
Bill Reiser and Lance Bean.
Oh boy. Oh yeah. So no, that's Aliens. Paul Reiser, Bill Pullman, not Pullman. Bill Paxton.
Paxton, yeah.
Yeah, that's all Aliens names.
Okay.
I knew it was some kind of reference. Okay, anyway. Moving on. Ryan, this is yours, and I didn't even see this until you brought my attention to it, and holy shit.
So this is from Trick or Treat. How they got the license for this, who knows? But it is what I assume is a life-size Krang.
That is exactly what it is.
Like, what am I going to do with this? I don't know, but I'm going to buy it. I couldn't find price on it.
You're going to hide it around the house for the wife and kids to find in the pantry and the toilet.
I'm going to bother my children by putting it under my shirt and then just raising my shirt and being like,
yeah.
Hey.
So it's already up for pre-order on Big Bad, and it's $99.
Oh,
I couldn't believe it was that cheap.
Yeah.
Like, I think $100 for that is a bargain.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. It's the appropriate level of gross.
Life-size Krang. $100. You can pre-order it now on bigbadtoystore.com. All right, let me try and look at what we've got next, because I don't want to hit our... Okay, we got a few more. From Hastel Toys, Grapplers and Gimmicks. This is a new Sergeant Slaughter retro-style figure loaded with accessories. And I would say probably outside of G.I. Joe's, this is Sarge's most recognizable look, with the camo shirt, the black singlet, the white belt. But he also comes with all these accessories. He's got an American flag, which appears to be like a vinyl and not like a paper like you might expect. He's got his hat, his whistle, his sunglasses, his little writing crop thing that I know has another name, but I can't think of it. Great looking figure. Also supposed to be here around April, and $45 with free shipping. which for the current retro style figures is a good price for this. But my big deal with this guy is, what have I been complaining about with the Sergeant Slaughter figures that Classified has put out? None of them are good to get signed.
Yeah.
This comes on an old school blister card, just like the old Hasbro WWF figures. Perfect for Joe Fest, because they come out. He'll be here in April. So get this guy in April, bring him to Joe Fest, and he's going to be like one of the best Sergeant Slaughter figures to get signed. And then Major, I don't have the pictures in here because these came in kind of late, but we'll talk about them on a future Audible interlude. Major is also doing 2 new Sergeant Slaughter Big Rubber Guys, which are the LJN style figures. And those look great, but I have no idea when they're coming out. So she looks very disappointed.
She does. So, this is the Black Series, Colonel Ward from the upcoming Mandalorian and Grogu, still a terrible name, movie. And we had seen, Hasbro had shown this during the last the Star Wars Pulse YouTube thing. But I picked it because I still just can't get comfortable with Sigourney Weaver in Star Wars. Like, every time I see this, I'm like, oh, look at this custom someone has made. Like,
it's very weird.
It's just odd. I mean, it looks good. I'm excited about it, but it just still feels so weird she's going to be in Star Wars. So that's why I picked it.
Yeah, I'm excited about the movie. I mean, look, I feel like a marketing team selected the name for the movie, but there's no doubt in my mind the movie's going to be great. But the product support for it is not great.
Now, one thing I will give Hasbro, this will be the first time in a while, like, these will be on the shelf when the movie comes out. They're here. They're already off the boat. So at least they're lining up. They're doing that stupid white package thing again, like they did for...
See, I don't mind that. I think that's just kind of a fun thing because there's no price difference. It's just a matter of seeing them and being excited about it. That to me is just a fun thing. That doesn't bother me. Yeah,
but I mean, I'm glad to see they're at least lining up, the marketing. And I did pre-order this one. I probably should have learned my lesson from the Acolyte toys, but
well, but this is, if I was still collecting Black Series at all, this would be a must buy for me, just to have Sigourney Weaver like this. Like, it's cool. It's just cool.
Yeah.
And you put her next to your other pilot figures that they've done, like celebrity pilot figures that they did. That's fun. Speaking of Big Rubber Guys, and this was a very late entry because I didn't see this over the weekend. So I'm a big fan of the Major Wrestling Figure podcast. Their Major brand is producing all kinds of cool stuff, but they are specifically going with an ECW line within their Big Rubber Guys. And Raven is one of my favorite wrestlers ever, and he hasn't received as many figures as he should have over the years. And this is that LJN style wrestling figure, and I've done reviews of them here on the channel. To me, these are almost like designer toys. Like, they're a different level. They're one pose and that's it. So it's like a little piece of art. But the fact that they're doing Raven is absolutely awesome. And he looks great. I mean, this is like WCW, ECW Raven. Now, if they do a Lodi, Ryan, are you going to be tempted?
You know what? I might be, actually.
But this is very cool because potentially Major could license like now this is meant to be more of an ECW figure, but potentially Major could license the rest of the flock, and for the first time ever, we could have the flock in figure form.
Oh,
it's entirely possible, and I would buy them all. I'm definitely getting this Raven though.
Yeah, I like it.
Take it away, Ryan, because I don't want it.
So this is it's Playmates, the Dungeon Crawler Carl. They announced Carl and Mordecai from the first book. You know, is this how I wanted a Carl figure? And like, I've been a fan of this series almost since the beginning, and it's really blown up over the past, I don't know, 6 months or so. And Matt Dinniman, who's the author, like, is one of the nicest guys I've ever met. Totally deserves all the fame. So I'm really happy that these are coming out. It's just not how I pictured a line coming. I go back and forth, like, I don't want to get it, but I'm like, oh, but it's a Carl and Princess Donut figure.
Right.
I probably will end up getting them. The fist is wrong, which drives me nuts. There shouldn't be fingers on it. But, it's a dungeon crawler figure, so I'm hoping we're going to get more. There's so many they could do with manga. Have y'all read these books?
No, I'm looking it up now.
So here's my story with this. One of the nights that I subbed in for Pete hosting trivia, one of the team names was something that is the cat's name Bagel?
Donut. Were they the Princess Posse?
What does he say to Donut? Does he like yell
God damn it, Donut?
Okay.
Yes.
So one of the teams was named God damn it, Donut. And I had no idea what it was, because trivia team names are just range anywhere from slyly hilarious to fucking dumb. But when I was reading things out, I said, God damn it, Donut, because that's just how I felt you should read that with no context. And the team came up to me and they said something about Carl. And I was like, I'm Dave. And I know Dungeon Crawler. Have you read Dungeon Crawler Carl? And I was like, I guess I've heard that term and just don't know what. And one of the guys is like, oh my gosh. And he starts telling me about it. And it sounds incredible. And it's one of those things that I hear about. And ashamedly, I don't read as much as I used to read. It's not one of the things I spend my time doing. But as I'm listening, I'm like, this sounds incredible. Oh my gosh. I'd like to, I wish I could read more. And the guy was like, well, there are audiobooks too. He was like, what's your email address? I was like, well, here. That night, he emails me all of the audiobooks.
Mm-hmm.
So I have not listened to them yet because I'm just podcasts and one thing, music and whatever else. I need to get to them, and I'm excited to get to them, but I haven't. But when I saw this, I was like, I don't know that this is what people want.
I mean, that's what he looks like. I think it's just, I don't know if it's the style. I don't know.
The form factor.
I don't know what's off.
Weird.
Yeah, it's the form factor of it that I don't love. But as far as the books go, I definitely recommend listening to it. The audiobooks, and I almost never do audiobooks, but the audiobooks of it are amazing. And, it's really funny with Matt Dinniman. He still like heavily interacts with the fans. He's on the Reddit group all the time, like answering questions.
Wow.
And,
that's like, it's a dangerous life.
Oh, he puts stuff from like Reddit into the books, and you can vote on things. It's crazy. It's so good though. But yeah, I'll get it. It's Carl and Donut. They're great.
No, I get it. Believe me, I've got so much stuff in this room that I own because of what it is, not because of how it's made.
Mm-hmm.
I think that wraps up the main portion of the show. So who do you think had the best showing overall? I'll start, and I think somebody already said it. I think NECA with the Muppets, but also with DuckTales and with upgrading that Pee-wee, and they always have a good showing, but this year just felt like some wish fulfillment.
100%.
I agree. NECA, they showed amazing things, and at the same time, a lot of other companies just didn't. Like, there wasn't. This is one of the years I like struggled to find 10 things.
Yeah, same. I was kind of wondering, do we need to just maybe do like 5 or 6 or so, to reduce the number. But then I was like, whatever. We'll all end up talking about everything anyway, so it doesn't matter. So does everybody agree Neko was the standout?
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
100%.
And I will look, I think everybody we talked about here to some degree put in a good showing. I think Hasbro between G.I. Joe and Marvel Legends, it's not that Hasbro's showing was big, but I feel like it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Star Wars apparently is a different story, and we're at the proper portion of the show to discuss that, because the next few things we talk about are going to be things that baffled us or we just plain didn't like at Toy Fair, or maybe didn't understand. And Kristian, do you want to take that segue and run with it?
Yeah. So I said that my biggest WTF or no, not at all from the con was the lack of showing from Star Wars. You have a major movie coming out, and there was no wow factor. There was, I mean, awesome for the retro 6-pack. Like, very glad to see that. But like that was it as far as anything we hadn't seen.
Well, the problem is Mandalorian Grogu is a lot of characters that we've already got several times over.
Well, but they could have, if they had showed Zeb in the movie factor, or if they really wanted to go crazy, put out Roto the Hutt. Like, if they would have put out a Roto with his beefy jacked arms, like, it probably would have won Toy Fair for me.
Well, and that's the thing, is if you look back, like, think about the Phantom Menace release or even the Force Awakens release, where we were buying toys of characters that we had no idea what they even were, but it was exciting because it was like new, cool, like, ooh, what is this? And there's not a single thing like that.
Well,
and I kept thinking of like last year, and even though there was a lot of Star Wars stuff that I was like, meh, or man, you've released that same figure like 12 times now. Let's give it a rest. But there's always one or two, I think of like the Hammerhead, and I'm like, oh man, that's great. And there wasn't that. And I don't know, like the Cantina should be shipping, right? Or has it already? And there's no.
Oh yeah, what is going on with that?
There's no display of it. I don't know. I just felt like Star Wars was incredibly lacking. It didn't show, and I'm not saying Hasbro doesn't have faith in it. It's just the impression that it gave me, like it was just an afterthought. It's there because it's got to be there, and we gave it as little as possible.
And I guess to maybe flip a little bit what I said about like characters that we're not familiar with being exciting. On the other hand of that, you have how many people here bought that one hat guy from Force Awakens?
That is Constable Zuvio, who's not actually in the movie. That's what makes it even better. He's not in the movie. Well, but speaking of characters we don't have, like, we know Imbo is in the movie now. He was in the last trailer. And Imbo is like a big character that people have wanted in Black Series now for a while. Like, why not lead with that? That would have made collectors real happy. But I don't know what they're doing.
They don't either. So Ryan, you've got a pick next that was baffling to you or you thought was weird. And we've already talked about it a little bit. Poor old birdie.
Stare into its dead eyes.
It does look a little Five Nights at Freddy's in this picture, doesn't it?
I mean, the more you look at it, like, I think it follows you. Kind of like...
Okay, I'm with you now. And also the Hamburglar kid kind of just looked like Hamburglar, but this does look unnatural.
Uh-huh.
Well,
there's an uncanny valley thing happening here.
It's Birdie the early bird, and having experienced it now for the last couple of weeks, I'm sorry, anyone who has to routinely get up before 5 a.m. in the morning, like, they're not right.
You know what it is? The size of those pupils, it looks like Birdie's someone who might be hanging out with Sam Kinison.
Yeah.
That's how Birdie gets up so early.
Birdie is going to the after hours club after party.
She's picking up McDonald's on the way home.
Yes.
Yeah, right. The sun's coming up. So my pick. Oh, you know what? This closer shot, you can actually see that Ronald cutout we were talking about before has articulation. You can see the elbows. Yeah. So it's drawn in. So yes, that is showing that like figures on the way. So my unholy pick that will haunt everybody's nightmares is Mezco's Clark Griswold Roto plush figure, and it's a fucking nightmare. And I mean, obviously, we all love Christmas Vacation. It's incredible, and Chevy Chase, his character is great. He himself, maybe not so much, but Clark Griswold, like we all grew up with him. But that face is horrifying. That's like Twilight Zone ventriloquist dummy levels of unsettling. And also his proportions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wish my children were still younger because I would replace our Elf on the Shelf with this.
With that?
Because you want to pay those therapist bills.
So that is Toy Fair 2026. I hope everybody had fun and maybe even learned a thing or two or found out about a product you might otherwise know about. Before we go, I've got one more product I want to share because I want everyone to have sweet dreams tonight. This Clark was not nightmare enough. I think everybody should get on it and order a Clarence Boddicker full head mask.
If this is not in the game show somehow next year, I will be thoroughly disappointed.
Well, and what's shocking to me is this is only $40.
That's shocking.
Yeah, full head masks like this. Especially I think this was Trick or Treat Studios, but no, I think it is. I think it's Trick or Treat Studios. So this is like a nice latex Halloween mask, and $40 is a bargain. So yeah, I will absolutely be getting this Clarence Boddicker mask. And if it's not big enough for my head, then Kristian, you might be making an appearance.
I was going to say this gets me one step closer to living The Adventures of Beans Baxter fantasy. So,
well, yeah, you could also potentially Red Foreman. You could just go around calling people dumbass.
That's true.
So many uses for your Clarence Boddicker licensed RoboCop mask. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out tonight. Ryan, before we go, where can we find you online? What are you up to?
You can find me co-hosting Execute Chapter 66, a Star Wars fiction podcast where we review Star Wars books and movies and shows, and it's on all the platforms.
And Kristian, where can we find that toy photography you do so well?
You can find me on Instagram and Blue Sky under the name Legion Cub.
Be sure to check out Audible Interlude, a G.I. Joe podcast right here on the Needless Things YouTube channel and also wherever you get your podcasts. Our next live stream is March the 2nd, so join us there. As far as Needless Things, follow Needless Things channel on Instagram. Be sure to like, subscribe, share here. Tell your friends about Needless Things. It is the only way we can grow. And until next time, buy what you like.